Are on our way to Ho Chi Minh City, i.e. Saigon, in the south of Vietnam. My name is Matthew and this is another series of the 6th Plate. We are in Saigon, i.e. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Less than 30 seconds ago we met Jeremiah from Ireland, and this is what happens in Ho Chi Minh City. If you're, like he says, if you're here, you know what happens. If you're not here, you don't know what happens. Look man, Vietnamese coffee hits different, period. Right? Even when you want to ask coffee with milk, they ask you whether you want regular milk or condensed milk. And I always have the black coffee. Plus, when you go to different places and say I want coffee, they specifically tell you, you want Vietnamese coffee or you want the other coffee. Vietnamese coffee is served like this. Proper system, eh? There's hot water in there, your coffee in there to keep it warm. It's a shot of black coffee, no sugar. And dude, it's potent. To an extent that if you have 2 or 3 of these, you're smiling. Insanely tasty. Also, without fail, they serve it with ice cold green tea. And the only thing that I've seen, because I've seen ice cold water, but the only other country I've seen this happen is Armenia. Ice cold water they give ice green tea. Before we go any further, it's time for us to thank our partners without whom these videos would not be a possibility. With over half a century in Pune, India, Blue Nile is the frontline runner to customer service and great food. Blue Nile probably serves the best biryanis in the world. They have the famous saying and it goes, I cannot make everyone happy, I'm not Blue Nile biryani. The South African big boy Romas is now in India across Pune and Goa. They have shed upon a reputation for great barbecued ribs, great burgers and great chicken wings. If you are lucky, you might get the opportunity to make your own burger in their open kitchen. And we are starting the trip with the historic Chi tunnels, and then we explore food. But Chi tunnel is important. We are at the Chi tunnels in the Chi district in Ho Chi Minh City, about 50 clicks outside the city. Now these are a network of tunnels that kind of underline the network of tunnels around the country too. But this was used for the 1968 war against the United States of America. And dude, they taught the Americans a lesson with this, because these are the remains of the wall. We have a plane here, helicopters, etc. Everything looks legit, yo, because we are having the meal that the guerrillas would have during the war between 1948 and 1968, and this was staple, right? So we have tapioca, but what is interesting is the mix. In this we have salt, sugar and peanuts, and it's ingenious because the peanut has a fat content. Sugar is good because it balances your blood sugar, and salt is good because the salt content in your body is well too. So this is very, very, very well thought of. You get your carbs, you get your fat, and it's quite filling, right? You don't have to eat too much. You have 2 of these and I think it's content for the next 2 or 3 hours. Wow, this is good stuff. One thing that you see on the streets of Vietnam a lot are snails. But I've also started noticing to say that they have all kinds of snails and shells too. Really big ones. But this time, I also saw crab claws, and this is street food. So as for the crab claws, she has barbecued and sauteed this in tamarind sauce with garlic. Really beautiful texture. But in the sauce, they have given me 2 kinds, right? One has chili sauce, salt, garlic, tamarind and sugar. One has all of that without the sugar, right? Now remember, this, my friends, is street food, damn it. And so flavorful. And they give it to you broken too. She kind of breaks it for you so that you don't have to go through a lot of trouble breaking. And right under your leg is a dustbin that you can get rid of. There's the Sensation. Oh my God. Oh my God. The flavor of any country, according to me, is reflected through their street foods. Now, street food where? Places that cater to locals only. And I'm not talking about high-class locals. I'm talking about middle class. According to me, that recipe is years and generations down the line. I've come to have grilled barbecue pork with sticky rice, right? Can you Google this place? No. I told our taxi guy, take us to Chinatown. We're passing a lane and I saw smoke. I said, okay, let's stop. This is their sweet and spicy sauce, right? The sticky rice, the sweet and spicy sauce, the grilled barbecue pork. Hot, cold, crispy, really nice texture, really nice. And all in all, nothing. Incredible. Seafood, street food hits different, right? I mean, there are tons and tons of legit seafood restaurants all over Vietnam, both Hanoi and Saigon, i.e. Ho Chi Minh City. But street food is also given to you on the streets, and that hits different. I got myself barbecued shrimps. There you go. Yeah, but before we shot started, I clean one so it's not too messy. Right. They have given you a little lime here too. A little bit of salt. How do they get cooking this just right? I don't know. Is it experience? Of course it is. But always. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is a grilled beef in lolot leaf. I'm also a beef lolot virgin like you. I've never eaten it before. But every article, every handle on social media or the internet talks about the beef. So, let's try. The leaf has a very funky taste. Beef. I feel ground nut, garlic. That's it. Very funky taste the leaf had. Very funky. Nice. Kind of fascinated me every morning I pass it because it's filled with locals, especially the young crowds. I think this is a joint they eat before they go to school or college. This is what they were cooking. It's a mixture of egg and flour. Just give it a small taste. Plain bread along with fried egg without any salt. This sauce I think makes all the difference, right? Wow. On the sweeter side, garlic, fried onions, and also they have meatballs. I think these are pork meatballs. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know your Korean barbecues, Vietnamese barbecue. Oh, damn it, doesn't. We come to a Korean barbecue. I'm having the seafood and the beef buffet. In the seafood, they've given me fish and squid, and I've taken mushrooms, right? Now, in the beef, oh, she's put it there by mistake. They have given me liver, beef bacon, slices of beef, and ready beef bacon. Now, the beef bacon is so fine and it's so tasty that I can even have it raw. I like it. Let's go for the squid first. Everything, no more than 2 minutes. Really good stuff. I'm not a big fan of their sauces because I don't get to eat them in. I'm a sauceless guy. But the flavor hits you different, man. Sensationally good. Really good. Really, really, really good. Everything in Vietnam is so fresh, so good. So good. So this is the Buong Temple, which is a 17th century Buddhist temple, one of the top 5 gems of Saigon as far as pagodas are concerned. But look how beautiful it is. You know, we could have easily gone to a fancy restaurant for the banh mi. We're in a proper banh mi. I come to this local joint on the streets and I see the banh pao, had a big bite, insanely good. Banh pao, beef and egg, street food, it's different. I had a bite of this too before this. The ham and cheese banh mi with salad, laughing cow, pork. You know, this guy on the street has almost everything, right? It has the chicken, the pork, the pate, beef, everything. It was a great find, you guys. Google is your best friend at times. Also the chicken, it's different. Oh. Balls in my mouth, because this is the date palm and these are live worms. I don't think you should try it. It's where the snakes are kept, right? This is gonna be interesting. They eat the snake, they prepare them. And there are 3 kinds of snakes. They have the mountain snake, cobra, which of course is venomous, and also there's the bamboo snake, which is non-venomous. All snakes can be eaten. I was gonna have the beating heart of the snake, but the guy says, in my opinion, you should not have it because it may not be good for health. Snake spring roll, salted snake meat, grilled snake ribs. This is the grilled snake ribs, okay? And you know what he did was, he gave me some of that, right? These are the ribs, right? So good. Beautiful, man. Salted snake. Let's put that in that sauce. A bit chewy, not bad. meat. This is snake. It's good for right? The spring roll. Insane. Insane. This is the Du Soi Rec restaurant in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon. One of the restaurants that offers exotic food because you don't get them on the streets anymore. On the table I have worms, cricket, tarantula, cricket, scorpion, and the gecko. Let's go with the worm first. Cricket. Small cricket. Tarantula. You may not believe this, but amongst everything on the table, this was the most bearable. I don't know if I'm gonna live, but this was the most bearable. I can hear some of you guys say, why not the head? Ah, fuck! The last meal of the trip in Ho Chi Minh City before we board the aircraft. I wanted to do pho today. I decided to do it in the airport because I wanted to see if somebody misses pho, because there's so much more you can do on the road, right? On the streets. How will it taste in the airport? I've asked for the classic pho. Beef classic pho, right? Rice noodles, slabs of beef, spring onion, broth. Looks sexy. You know, I kind of get, they don't get the pho wrong all the time, right? It's such a local delicacy that I think everybody gets the formula bang on, but this is good. But what makes a difference is the beef, huh? I think the beef is a bit overcooked, a bit chewy. I've had better pho on the streets, but you know what? Very good for a, if you have missed it, you want to try it before you go, because this you will not get anywhere else. Wow. Ho Chi Minh City, which was earlier known as Saigon, is not only the largest city of Vietnam, but also the former capital of Vietnam. The capital today is Hanoi. Let me break it down for you like this. You can divide Vietnam into three main cities. Hanoi in the north, Da Nang in the center, and Ho Chi Minh right at the southeast of Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh is the pulse of the nation, right? And it was a former headquarters of the United States of America as well. Now, if it is my choice, you might want to spend time with your family in Hanoi, because Hanoi has so much more to offer as far as that element is concerned. But the pulse, nightlife, and man, I think Ho Chi Minh City is so much more in-depth than Hanoi if you wanted to understand what actual Vietnam is. Look, I've said that maybe Hanoi is actually you might prefer to travel, I understand that, but there's some things that Ho Chi Minh City offers that Hanoi doesn't. For example, it has a very distinctive elaboration of history through two things in Ho Chi Minh City. One, the Chi tunnels that the Vietnamese used against the Americans during the Vietnam-American War, and also the War Museum that talks about everything, including Agent Orange, unfortunate era of Agent Orange. So, if you want to understand the integrity of the history of what Vietnam has gone through, then Ho Chi Minh is a much better choice. I say spend at least 2 days in Ho Chi Minh City. Another thing that I noticed, my choice, is that the street food in Ho Chi Minh, right, had so much more depth and texture to it. I saw things in Ho Chi Minh that I did not see in Hanoi. And what was also very interesting about Ho Chi Minh City was the seafood on the streets of Ho Chi Minh City, i.e. Vietnam. As in, the seafood street food was beautiful. Depth, texture, taste, balance, beautiful. Also, because Ho Chi Minh was the earlier capital and also the largest city and so on and so forth, we found a lot of alleys that gave street food that were for the locals only. We hardly saw any foreigners. As a matter of fact, we were the only foreigners on the streets. And what happens then is that the actual taste of what the Vietnamese cuisine is all about reflects through street food, doesn't it? It was amazing. It was really, really good. Overall, it's not an expensive city. It's reasonable. Accommodation is great. Transport is easy, and there's so much to do. And if it comes to nightlife, it has the largest pulse as far as the cities in Vietnam are concerned. It's a different ballgame altogether. So, if I was you, I would at least make Ho Chi Minh City 2 or 3 days part of my travel itinerary, and then you can travel to a Da Nang and then a Hanoi and spend the rest of your vacation. In Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City is very, very important. Peace out.